Every new wave of immigrants, have been demonized. Curiously, they've all been made to look black. And they've all been given figures, ape-like figures and that type of a thing. And they've all been called black. Irish have been called black. Italians have been called black. Literally black. I don't mean, I'm not saying that this is some, they're being treated as black. No, they're literally called black. Slavs the same. Each successive new group, were called black, and they're all pictured as black, which is curious. And each successive new group, and I'll come back to this point, divided itself from African Americans, separated itself from African Americans as part of their move up into mainstream America. Polls show, and they've showed it consistently now for years, we all say immigration is good for the country, but don't let any more in. Really, 2/3. It's been consistent now for 30 years. And don't think it's just white Americans who say that. Latinos at the exact same rate say the exact same thing. Shut the door behind me. I'm here, shut the door behind me, right? So, that changes in periods of low immigration. In periods, and this is what's curious, in that period between the 1920s and 1965 when we had these immigration quotas, and the percentage of Americans fell to historic lows, where about 4 or 5% of the country was foreign-born and nothing more. And the number of immigrants coming each year were measured in 100,000, 200,000, no more. Then the acceptance for immigration was higher. Yes, let more in. People said let more in, but nobody wanted to raise the quotas. Or push to raise the quotas, I should say. The second thing is that immigration has always been an issue of strange bedfellows politically. It has not been a Republican versus Democrat issue. It is not a right versus left issue. It is on the one side the business community, which we identify with the Republicans as being more or less conservative, united with the humanitarian left, with the churches, in particular the Catholic Church, the Jewish Church, and the mainstream Protestant churches. And then on the other side, you kind of had the unions and most working class Americans who saw them as competition. And the evangelical churches sort of stayed over there. That's changing in the last year or two. This year, it's changing right now a little bit.